Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Musa Gaming here, and today, yes, you can probably see from this map right here, we have lost the KVK. Now, I just want to share a little bit of how we lost this KVK because I think the way that it went was a little bit interesting. I unfortunately am going to be held back a little bit in terms of my own progress for my own marches and so forth. So that is very unfortunate. I think I'll be pretty far behind the Meta Rally and Garrisons now because of the fact that I think my group, I have a little group, and most of us are actually Vietnamese. I'm Korean. I'm American, Korean American, whatever you like to call it. I just got naturalized, so I just got the U.S. citizenship. But then again, I'm Korean ethnically, but I speak both English and Korean. But my group is Vietnamese, and we have migrated away from our home kingdom previously, which was 2811, and then we moved on to 2301, I think, which was the other kingdom that I think unfortunately kind of the whole kingdom dissipated with a lot of people actually moving out of it. And now our group has moved on to this kingdom right here, which is the 2073 ID, which is 3373. I think some of you might recognize this kingdom from King Schmuck. He's a YouTuber. I think he has a pretty good following of I think 8,000 subscribers last time I checked. But we migrated into 3373. Unfortunately, it did not work out. King Schmuck's, I don't know how to say his name, but his group actually moved out of the kingdom. Now we're left at whoever actually couldn't migrate right away, which included myself too. And so this KVK was very important for our kingdom because if we won the KVK, then I think the kingdom would have had more chances of us keeping more valuable players, as well as it would have helped us recruit a little bit. By all means, I'm not part of the kingdom leadership. Excuse me. By all means, I'm not part of the kingdom leadership, but it's just the way usually how it goes. Now, I think this kingdom's the reason why we lost this KVK could be just summarized in one sentence: diplomacy. Our camp, unfortunately, wasn't able to make an alliance with another camp, and I think everyone else basically allied up against us, which is very unusual. And then I've heard some stories from my group, the Vietnamese group that I'm in, that some interesting stories. So I'll go ahead and share with you what happened to this KVK. Now, before the KVK opened up, our group, which was the water, I think contacted Wind. So Wind is right here. Let's see if I can share. Yeah, so the Wind is the group right here. That's basically highlighted in purple. So Wind was a very strong camp. I think they were the third strongest in terms of power level, whale level, whatever it is. And then we reached out to Win. I think our leadership reached out to Win, tried to ally with them. But then again, unfortunately, Win thought it was not fair because they're the third strongest kingdom. We were the first strongest kingdom. It wouldn't be a fair fight for the other two kingdoms, and then they will have a no-show. And so I think all the other camps, I think this Earth in particular, wanted to actually ally with us. Unfortunately, I don't think our camp's leadership wanted to ally with Earth, and then they wanted to ally with Win, which is bad. But I can't say anything because I wasn't part of the kingdom leadership or even the KVK camp leadership, so I had no part in it. So I can't really judge or even say how that conversation went. And then that did not go well. So our camp wanted to actually ally up with Win as much as we wanted to. So, and Fire and Wind basically did not want that to happen. They wanted there to be a fair fight, enough fighting for them to actually, have kind of a fair KVK at the end of the day. Now, after all that, basically what I heard, so from my perspective, I just saw a mail come in that basically says, oh, we're going 3v1 against the KVK. So we were like, okay, well, I guess that's what we're doing. Sounds unfair, but it is what it is. Like, I didn't really know what was going on, so let's just go. And as Pass 4 opened, we actually were pretty decent up to Pass 4 opening. We actually pushed all the way up to their passes on... Oh my god. My apologies, that's my ring. We pushed all the way up to the Win Wind's passes, and then we push all the way up to the Fire's passes, which was actually pretty good. Then we got pretty decent Vations up here. I think the best one on this KVK is actually the Met, which is right here. So that gave us a little bit of an edge. But now, as we got into the past 5 opening, and we were actually struggling to take, your zone 6 is basically secure either way. But then again, we as pass 7 open, we were unable to actually take over the passes and then push them all the way. Now we were going back and forth. We were trying to push through the Wind side. Unfortunately, we were able to get through the pass. We were able to defend it to a degree, but then again, we didn't have enough time until the King's End opened for us to actually burn those forts, as forts take about like 36 hours or so to actually take down. Now, with that said, we only had 2 passes onto the King's Land. They had 6 different ones, and we thought we still had a decent chance as we entered the KVK because, for one, Earth was indeed the weakest camp on this KVK, and 2, if Earth was not fighting against Fire and Wind, and they would have actually not. We were hoping that they would have had enough people who did not even do the crystal text, did not have really much invested in their crystal texts and bastions, because it would have been boring for them for the last 3 weeks, and then they would have been slacking. They would have not spent money on mountain warfare and so forth. So that's what we were hoping for, I think. Unfortunately, though, that we did have some drawbacks because we had so many fights going on here with the Wind as well as Fire that it costed us so many troops. So a lot of people were out of archers, as that was used for rallies the most. A lot of people were out of infantry because that was used for garrisons a lot. Cavalry, I've lost a lot of cavalry units because I was solo filling my flag. Well, I wasn't solo filling, but reinforcing wise, I did use a lot of my troops. You can see that I had 1.8 million deaths myself. So, long story short, we didn't have enough troops when we entered KVK, entered Kingsland. We were just outnumbered pretty significantly. I was able to get, I think, for the first like 4 to 6 hours, I was able to get like 8 million kills into Kingsland, but we just in terms of numbers, we were like outnumbered by like 6 to 1 almost. We didn't have enough troops. I only had 3 marches that I could actually utilize, and then even then I couldn't really fill the flags and so forth too much because then I would have lost everything, and I wouldn't have that 3 marches for me to feel fine at all. So we were able to basically enter the Kingsland, gain some ground, but then again lost everything with all of them kind of teaming up against us. We just didn't have any field almost when compared to the other fields, and Earth had a lot more numbers. Again, expected because they didn't use up that much troops, but it was just that we didn't have enough, I think, was at the end of the day. So long story short, we lost the KVK because of diplomacy. Unfortunately, we weren't able to make an ally in this KVK. We were the strongest kingdom. No, we were the strongest camp on this KVK thanks to the guys here at Beer, who unfortunately, unlike us, didn't really have that many people move out of the kingdom. And I think CB was also pretty strong, but we weren't really that strong as a kingdom, as 3373 had a lot of migrated people out of the kingdom. Now, what does that mean? So, let's rephrase that. What does that mean for my own progress? So, originally, my plan was to actually be able to Iconic 4 this prior to con, this KVK, and Iconic 5, I don't really think that Iconic 5 is really that urgent just because of how minimal this damage is. If you think about it, that's 10% chance to gain like 8.5% all damage buff for 2 seconds with cooldown of 5. That's a 17-second cycle with all damage buff of 8.5% for 2 seconds. That is a very off chance when you compare it to something like the Ring, which gives you like 65% for that same time. So very minimal, iconic, and it will cost you like a ton of materials. But the Iconic 4 is definitely worth it. 2% damage to troops on the map. It will be great for your field. It will be great for your great for your garrisons, whatever it is that you're actually using your rally and garrison for. I think Pride of the Con would have been very good at Iconic 4. Now, that does mean that I do get a little bit more break on the material. So, if I wanted to, I can actually Iconic 5 the rest of my kits. I think the most important is going to be my Horn of Fury. I'm actually still getting the materials for this, but then again, this will actually give you, whenever you're doing a basic attack, you have 10% chance to get the normal attack damage or skill damage. And although this is not something that's like as critical as iconic, as strong as this one, the iconic 5 of the Sacred Dominion, I don't even have blueprint for the iconic 5 for this. So I think that's the only thing that I can improve on for the next KVK at this very moment. But little do I have to worry, because as I enter the next KVK, I will be able to actually get some KVK coins. Where's the Conquest Rewards? I'll be able to get some KVK coins from this individual section, which will let me get some KVK coins off of things like this. Well, 50,000 individual honor points, as well as 5 million T4 kills. That is going to be easy for a lot of, for me to actually reach. I think this will also be pretty important, easy for me to reach. So it will give me 75 million crystals and 10,000 T4. That's going to be easy for me to achieve. So almost anyone, I think, should be able to actually reach those. Where is the other KVK coin? I think there's another one that you can actually get that was relatively very easy just for spending crystals, I think. Maybe I'm missing. I have no idea where that is. Maybe it's in the Conquest Rewards. Anyways, yeah, so there will be, I think, like 3 total that you can get. Where is this? So I'm going to actually finish up my kills probably towards the end of the KVK. I ran out of speed ups, so I'm going to have to trace some T1s and then try to do some barms to fill up the speed ups that I'm missing out on. But then again, as I enter the next KVK, I will be able to actually get the KVK 4, Iconic 4 pretty early on. But then again, I'm going to have to wait for the Iconic 5 until I actually can tell whether or not I'm going to win that KVK or not. So that is unfortunate to a degree. As you can see, I don't really have a leftover KVK coin yet. So that's what's going to happen. So KVK Iconic. So basically, my next upgrade will be Iconic 4 for Pride of Con, as well as Horn of Fury Iconic 5. Not the best upgrades, to be honest. Iconic 4 of the Pride of Con will be my best priority, but then again, I can't fast forward time and then get those coins earlier. So that is unfortunate. But either way, that's basically my next goal. I did have extra blueprints of the horn, so I will be basically making horns for my Zhuge Liang or my second Cav March, which will benefit pretty much a lot from that. And then by the time I'm done with all this, I will be entering the next KVK. So I'll probably update you on the video as well. All right. Well, and for me next, I really don't know what's going on with what's going to happen with my 3373 KVK Kingdom. I think a lot of people are going to move out just because of how disappointing this KVK went. In all honesty, I think a lot of people are just disappointed by the fact that we lost just because of diplomacy and not because we weren't participating enough, not because we weren't fighting as much as we could. So I know a lot of people are going to move out of the kingdom, and I still don't know what my group is going to do with that. Whether or not we're gonna stay for a while or not. I'm a little worried because of the passport count, because it will be costing me a lot if I do move out. And given that we only moved into this KVK kingdom like 2 KVKs ago, it's going to everyone in our group is going to actually want to stay a little bit if it is possible. But I'll keep you updated on that. But yeah, that's pretty much it on what happened, how we lost it. So make sure you're leadership, if you're part of the leadership group, I really do respect what you do, because I've been a leader in another games group where you actually have to go into war and stuff. It does take a lot of your time, and I get it. It's a lot of work, but while you're at it, you really have to make sure that you're bringing the fair fight for your kingdom. Otherwise, you're going to lose a lot of your members. Unfortunately, that happened for us for our whole camp. So I'm pretty sure a lot of our camp members will lose a lot of members just because of how disappointing that went. So if you're one of the leaders, just make sure you do your diplomacy well. Make sure your people are not, even if you lose KVK, because you can lose your KVK, but it's just that like you can't lose in a fashion where you felt like it was done unfairly, and then I think that's when people are going to migrate away from your kingdom. So make sure you do your diplomacy well, because otherwise you're gonna end up like us. Despite being the strongest camp in this KVK, we weren't even able to compete last like a day or two in KVK, unfortunately, and then now we lost all the land. We're basically gonna not get anything for until we actually get into this KVK. So yes, that's it. That's just how we lost it. Unfortunate, but let's just make sure we get the positive energy going. Let's just get myself do some stuff that would actually help me get my account better, so that I can actually rally for the upcoming rally Commander Subutai, and without actually losing my rally spot for whoever else. So all right, well, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, please go ahead and like and subscribe if you want to see more contents like this. I do apologize for not uploading for a couple of days. I actually had outages for my Wi-Fi for yesterday, so I missed the window of time for me to record. But I hope you guys were able to enjoy this video. And as always, I'll see you on the next video.